call the meeting to order and ask for a roll call.
Blunier.
Here.
Leach.
Here.
Lehman. Here. Menold. Here. Newman.
Here.
Parrott.
Here.
We have a quorum.
If you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have no public hearings, but we do have some presentations. I'd ask the police chief to join me. The first one we'd like to talk about tonight is Mr. John Myers retiring from the Police and Fire Commission with several years under his belt, and even a couple of years ago I talked him into a few more years, but when he called one to meet, I knew what that was about this year. So John, why don't you come on up? He's had the best interest of Morton for years, and I'm going to ask the police chief to say a couple words here.
Congratulations, John. It's been a pleasure. I know I've been here 25 years, and from looking at all the individuals that are standing over there, I know you've had a part in all of them being hired, and I think that says a lot about you as a person and a lot about the department, and I just want to thank you for your service.
I think John told me there's an officer working for us now that he didn't have a part in. And I don't think Morton's been able to say that before. So thank you. So we have a gift here for you, and it says, John Meyer, Police and Fire Commission, in recognition of your service to the citizens of Morton from February 6, 1989 to December 31st, 2020. That's 31 years.
When Mayor Bob Hertenstein appointed me to the commission in 1989, I had no idea that I would end up spending almost 32 years and through 5 mayors as a member of the commission. But having done so, it's been my good fortune to have been a participant in the selection of all of these guys and all of the other, and our retired chief as well. A fine bunch of guys that we've enjoyed so much. Remember interviewing Chief Miller in May of 1995, and the newest deputy chief, Sean Darst, in June of 1997. It's been a privilege for me to be involved in a small way in providing for protection and safety of the community. And Mayor, I just want to thank you and all of the mayors for giving me the opportunity to serve the community.
Well,
Thank you.
You've done a fabulous job.
Thank you.
Thank you. And when I told John who the new deputy chief was, he bragged on him. So I knew I was in good shape. So, Chief, I'm going to let you do that announcement.
I did forget one thing, John. We're still working on your get out of jail free card, so I haven't forgot about that. It's my privilege tonight to also announce the promotion of Sean Darst to the position of deputy chief. Sean Darst is a 25-year member of the Morton Police Department. He began his career with the police department at the age of 19 as a 911 telecommunicator. He has served as an auxiliary police officer, patrol officer, field training officer, patrol sergeant, and was most recently assigned to the role of the detective sergeant for the last 6 years. Sean is a graduate of Illinois Central College and Bradley University, where he earned his bachelor's degree of science in sociology and administration of criminal justice. He's also a graduate of the Northwestern University School of Police and Staff and Command. Sean is a proud Morton resident, and he's married to his wife Lisa, and he has his children here today too. So, Sean, congratulations.
Let's, wait a minute, let's get over here. I learned this from one.
By the mic here.
Yeah, so we can see your face there.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Sean Darsh, do solemnly swear or affirm
I, Sean Darsh, do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Deputy Police Chief
of the office of Deputy Police Chief
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I have one more presentation tonight. Officer Jared Boyer is being promoted pursuant to the rules and regulations of the Morton Police and Fire Commission, obviously the commission that John was just left, to the position of patrol sergeant that takes the vacant spot of Sean being promoted to deputy chief. Sergeant Boyer has served as a patrol officer for the village of Morton for 5 years. In addition to ongoing professional development, he has received specialized training in traffic crash reconstruction, active shooter mitigation, as well as accommodations for DUI enforcement and the Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists. Sergeant Boyer is a Morton resident, and he is here with his wife. He has 2 children and 1 on the way, so congratulations.
Right there.
All right.
We want the camera.
All right. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jared Boyer,
I-
do solemnly swear or affirm
I, Jared Boyer, do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Police Sergeant
of the office of Police Sergeant
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I just wanted to say thank you for everybody who could come. I think it says a lot about our department. We've got a lot of good officers. Thanks to John for your service and allowing us to do what we do. So, thank you.
We have a fabulous force, and the first time ever, we had a 5-year contract that was very fair for everybody, and we are not defunding our police department in Morton, Illinois. So thanks to all of you for keeping Morton safe. And in a few moments, we'll be appointing Steve Newhouse to the Police and Fire Commission. And again, I told John Myers, and he said that was good. So I think we're in good hands. The only problem is, John, I still need a ride in the car. So thank you. Thanks to all of you.
So you guys want to bug out
Yeah, you're free
the
to.
rest of the meeting? It gets real boring from here on out.
I thought of it.
I've got gray hair. I can do it.
Would anyone like to make some public comments?
Probably slide that over.
Good evening, everyone. Leanne Brown with the Morton Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Council. A couple updates now that we are in April. We have our upcoming forecast breakfast. So on Thursday, April 15th, you can tune in virtually after picking up your drive-through breakfast at the Knights of Columbus. We're partnering with them this year to host our pancake breakfast for drive-through, and then tune in virtually to hear an update from several Morton public bodies from the village. Mayor will share a few updates and comments. Our superintendent from District 709, our park director, Joel, and our library director, Alyssa, and then some updates from the EDC. So you can tune in, you can still sign up, get your breakfast. You actually get a $5 pumpkin buck to use at upcoming Pumpkin Festival, and enjoy breakfast and tune in to hear some updates and forecasting for the year ahead. Also, a way to get involved, get outside and help clean up our community. We have a beautiful community and we want to keep it that way and keep people engaged. So we're inviting businesses, citizens, and others to join us on Earth Day for a get outside, clean up, pick up your own yard, your street, in front of your business, behind your business. We've got some designated areas along the fence line to get out and clean up and really celebrate our community. And speaking of festival, we're still in full planning mode for hosting a full capacity festival, our 55th festival. We had correspondence with Nestle Corporate, and they have confirmed to be our sponsor again this year. So we're working through plans and details involving Nestle Corporate, along with, of course, our Libby's plant here in Morton. And actually, our Libby's plant, a team over there is assembling the pumpkin seeds, and those will go out to the schools the week of the Community Cleanup Day, April 19th week. So families can plant their pumpkin seed and have a chance of that giant pumpkin or winning several other categories for the Pumpkin Way Off. And speaking of putting Morton on the map with our festival, if you've not seen a recent highlight of our Morton community on 60 Minutes, just an incredible, beautiful story with Dave Kindred, an incredible sports writer that you name somebody in the sports industry, he's probably written about them. And in his retirement, he's followed our Lady Potters and shared that connection and story. So if you haven't tuned in the 60-minute story with Dave Kindred, I highly recommend you do. Beautiful story and just highlights our community and certainly the Lady Potters. So with that, that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? If not, the consent agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes from the special meeting, March 8th, 2021, the regular meeting, March 15th, 2021, and the special meeting, March 18th, 2021, and the approval of the bills. Could I have a motion?
I move to approve. Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Blunier,
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Menold.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I have one item tonight, asking to appoint Steve Newhouse to the Police and Fire Commission. He served 8 years here as a trustee, and he's accepted that position. So if we could have a motion.
So moved. Second.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Menold.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Motion passes.
That's all I have. Village Clerk?
Just one quick reminder to everybody to get out and vote tomorrow. That's all I have.
All right. You have one more meeting.
One and a half.
1.5. Village Administrator.
I have a few things tonight, Your Honor. Item A there, I don't know if Pat wants to explain it. That was supplemental appropriations that we had considered doing, but we do not have to do now. Basically, the high gas bill that we have for the gas that we purchased in April, the company, the supplier, is allowing us to pay that bill in May. So it'll be in the next fiscal year. So we don't need to do the additional appropriations for this current fiscal year because it'll be paid in the fiscal year 2022. Next item is ordinance 21-42, an ordinance making amendments regarding level payment plan for utility bills for residential customers to Chapter 15 of Title 8 of the Morton Municipal Code.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Basically, what we have done in the past is in September of every year, we've called that our settlement month. If you were on a level payment plan, that month we would adjust your payment for the next year, and any amount that you either had coming to you would be a credit on your bill, or an amount that you owed us would be due that month. What we would like to do is change that so that we do it twice a year, because sometimes someone can get, especially with the high gas cost in February, we're afraid that people will get really high bills come September. So we would like to change it to do it twice a year in April and October. And then that way, when whatever they owe or whatever credit they have coming to them would just be considered as part of the calculation for their level payment amount for the next 6 months. So that's what this is for.
Any comments?
Will you still just have an annual settlement, or will it be a biannual then?
It'll be done basically biannually.
Or semi-annual.
It'll just be considered part, if they owe $100 or whatever, that would be spread over the next 6 months as part of their actual amount that they would owe for the next 6 months. So hopefully it'll make it a little easier on some of those that end up getting a little behind on their bills.
It's a good idea, being friendly user. Any other comments? Call the roll.
Lehman.
Yes.
Menold.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Motion passes.
The next item is ordinance 21-43, an ordinance making amendments to Title II, Chapter 9 of the Morton Municipal Code in regards to the Tourism Committee.
Move to approve. Second.
Go ahead.
Basically, this would pretty much eliminate the Tourism Committee. That was formalized under Mayor Rainson. It's very difficult to get people to volunteer to do this, and it's pretty difficult to get those people to get together. It's been kind of like pulling teeth to get people to volunteer for this. So in the past, there had not been a tourism committee. There had just been a group of people that got together pretty informally and discussed what grants should go to what event. And basically what I would like to see done is that I review the grant applications along with whichever trustee is appointed as the overseer of the tourism group, and we make the recommendations to the board, and then the board can adjust those, which has happened in the past anyway, based on the recommendations from the committee. So that was the idea to this.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Menold.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And then last item on my agenda is the approval of the final budget for fiscal year 2022. I provided you all a copy. I had sent this out earlier. The only major change is the increase due to the gas bill that I discussed earlier being moved towards, into this fiscal year instead of in the prior fiscal year. So it shows an overall deficit of $10,034,970.
And if we look to the budget, that 7.6 million is in the water treatment, and that's really an asset. So of that, 7.6 million is a building we're going to own.
We need a motion.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any other comments? Call the roll.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Menold.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I have one other item. I just wanted to give you an update. We've talked about our sales tax receipts. The sales tax that we've received for the first quarter of '21 are $1,180,580. That's based on sales that actually take place for the months of October, November, and December. That amount is down about just a little over 8,000 from last year, which I consider, we went back into lockdown last fall, so I think that's a really good amount to receive with everything being locked down like it was. Prior year, we had received in that same time frame $1,188,585, and then the year 2019, we received $1,059,918. So it's down 0.7% from the previous year, but like I said, with everything considered with COVID, I think that's really good and a testament to our businesses and to our citizens who have, actually gone out and done what they could to keep the businesses going. I wanted to remind everyone in Morton, our Morton sales tax rate, the highest rate within the business district, is 7%. So just by shopping in Morton, you can save up to 2.5% if you compare it to the sales tax like in the levy district or in some of the communities around here. So if you can shop local, you're going to save yourself money right off the top. So,
All right, thank you.
yep. That's it.
All righty, Chief of Police.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
All right, Corporation Counsel.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Director of Fire and Emergency Services, welcome back.
Thank you. Nothing tonight, I'm back here in the corner.
Director of Public Works,
Several items tonight, Your Honor.
and your suntan does look good.
Thank you. First item in front of you, item A, I'd like to ask for acceptance of proposal through Sourcewell and from Altorfer Incorporated for a new CAT 30607 mini excavator in the amount of $10,452. This does include the trade of our 2018 backhoe, and the amount of that trade is $70,000.
If we could have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
You want to add anything else to it? Okay.
Couple questions on it. The first question, I guess, the 2 years, is that typical, I guess, it was in there for 2 years or 3 years? Do we have this one?
It was a 2018, so no, this is not typical. We're moving up to an excavator, and as doing that, would like to, my guys would probably like to keep the backhoe just out of convenience, but I don't think we use the fourth backhoe enough. So to do this, I'd like to trade that in towards the excavator. So really, this is just a move. I've got some new operators. We're ready to get in the excavating business, more efficient. So really, that's all this is.
Thanks. And the second question, was there any typical formal bidding process that was done?
Nope, we use Sourcewell again. So Sourcewell is an option we've been using here for quite some time, and most municipals do. So Altorfer gave us a demo to try it out, and we really like the 306. So.
Thanks.
Yep.
And can I ask, department-wise, is this spread over various departments or what?
This one is out of water distribution, and they will use it a majority of the time. So most of the time, you're going to see it with the water distribution guys. But like with all of our equipment, we do share. You will see it. I think one of the other trustees saw the demo. Brad asked me about it. The demo is sitting at the water treatment plant. So when we have equipment, our guys really work together good, and the other departments will use it from time to time. But this will pretty much be used out of water distribution. Casey Daniels, Paul Ullman, Tyler Walshart, those guys will be using it.
Craig, as far as transporting it around, we have the trailer.
We budgeted for a new trailer in here, so we need another trailer anyway. So this is a little step above as far as trailering it, but like I said, I got the guys like Casey Daniels and we're ready to move up into this to become more efficient. If you guys are familiar with backhoe, there's a lot of downtime. When you got tires on a machine, there's a lot of, hey, I'll go drive and get this. When you're sitting in traffic, whatever, this excavator will help us, especially on the water distribution work, to set the excavator there. We've got a little challenge where we load. We have a wheel loader, skid steer, some other things. There'll be a little coordination, but we feel like we'll be a lot more efficient with this excavator, and we intend to get a lot of use out of it.
Any other comments? Call the roll.
Parrott.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman.
No.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next item, item B, I'd like to ask for acceptance of bid for water distribution materials from Core & Main in Washington, Illinois, in the amount of $25,083.80.
We can have a motion?
That's a move.
Second. Obviously, just approve the budget. The projects for the next few are located on page 69 of the budget. So basically, we get these materials on this, and then the water distribution guys will do the work. So this is just contracting out, or not contracting out, but bidding for the material to use. So fire hydrants, valves, pipe, and we do this annually.
Any other questions? Call the roll.
Blunier.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next, item C, I'd like to ask for acceptance of bid for the 2021 mill and overlay project in the amount of $649,933.25 and award of contract for same to R.A. Cullinan and Son Incorporated.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments?
Again, these projects are on page 69 of the budget on the mill and overlay section. So this did come in under the budgeted amount. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Leach.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
Menold.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next is item D. This is Resolution 27-21. This is a resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code, appropriation of motor fuel tax funds for the Cortlandt Street project.
Motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Again, this project's in the budget. This is to use MFT funds, and if you look in there specifically, I'd like to earmark the Rebuild Illinois funds. Today we have $536,029.65, so I'd like to use those. Those, I think it's FY24. We have to use those by, so with IDOT, it's going to be a lot easier to use Rebuild Illinois funds out of the MFT funds. That's the funneling device or mechanism. So I'd like to use Cortland and then eventually Detroit Avenue for Rebuild Illinois, just to keep everything organized and clean.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Lehman.
Yes.
Menold.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And lastly, item E, just like to announce the spring 2021 yard waste disposal program. It did open yesterday and is open through Sunday, May 2nd. Or I shouldn't say yesterday. My days are mixed up. It opened this morning. I guess I don't know what day it is. So.
Too much vacation.
So we're ready for you. Bring your landscape waste out.
I've been there.
Which I think is the 24th year of that. Zoning and Code Enforcement Officer, Brad.
I have one item tonight, Your Honor. I'd just like to give a brief report on building permits for the first quarter of 2021. We've issued 32 building permits at a project value of $4,306,616. You should have all received this in your packet, by the way. To put that into a little bit of perspective, for 2020 in the first quarter, we issued 27 permits in the first quarter at a project value of $592,058. We started using a new software in May, which the report you see for this quarter is a little more detailed than what we had for last year. So moving forward, I'd like to I'll present with a little more detail. And to put this in a little bit of perspective, the number 32 does sound low. Last year was 27, but by the end of this year, we'll issue somewhere around 500 permits out of our office, which would also include electrical, plumbing, and miscellaneous type permits, which would be like repair work for sewers, sanitary taps, storm taps, and such. Does anybody have any questions on any of that?
Anyone got any questions? About 3.7 million ahead of last year.
Yep. And I would mention, I didn't give a year end, but we did do 16 new homes last year in the Village of Morton, which was up from the previous year. And I don't recall that number, but I do know it was higher.
All right, thank you. Village trustees, anyone have anything? If not, we do need a closed session.
Closed session is requested tonight for the purpose of discussing collective negotiating matters between the village and its employees or their representatives per 5 ILCS 120/2C2.
And I would ask the Director of Public Works, Craig Laudermilk, and Fire Chief Joe Kelly to stay. So we're adjourned to closed session.
Need a motion?
Oh, that's right. We haven't done it for a while. Motion. Call the roll.
Menold.
Yes.
Parrot. Blunier. Leach.
Yes.
Lehman.
Yes.
We're adjourned to closed session.